First person to read, Carl Reed, proud graduate of JK. Nazi comment by teacher.
Thank you, board members, for allowing me this time here today. I graduated from John F. Kennedy High School in 1970. One of your predecessors is my lifelong friend, Pablo Escamilla. You probably know him. Anyway, I'm very proud to have been a graduate of John F. Kennedy High School. I played Little League Baseball right here in this Gardendale Little League District years back. Edgewood District has always been a part of my life. I went through every bit of my school up through high school in Edgewood District. But this past week, an incident occurred which I became aware of actually through the internet, and I was quite disappointed to find out that it came from my alma mater. And as I looked into the matter with the teacher that was in it, I guess it was a debate or a mock debate or something of that nature, and basically he called a group of people or an individual used the term Nazi. Now, I don't know if this young teacher appears to be, I don't know if he knows what that term means, but it's a very denigrating term, and to use it against an upstanding member of the community because you disagree with him is probably not the right thing to do. And my point in this matter is I wonder how it was taken by the students, because they're the ones that this whole discussion was created for. They were part of the event. They were there on their time, apparently. I don't know if it was school time or not. But it may leave the impression that if they don't like the opposing argument that someone is giving them, that they can just go resort to calling them names. That would certainly be an unacceptable and reprehensible way to conduct business. And I hope this matter can be addressed at some time in the future by board members, and that you'll look at it and make sure that certainly no harm has come with regard to the education of these children, and that they understand that they can't do this just because they disagree with somebody. And if they don't like the other person for whatever reason, to resort to name calling is not a way to get around that matter. And it's kind of upsetting when I go on the internet and I see my old alma mater that I'm very proud to have graduated from in 1970, that something of this nature would happen. And I hope it is looked into by the board, and it is taken. And please don't take the path of least resistance when you deal with it. Take up the matter and deal with it as it should be dealt with. That's what I ask you to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
First, I would like to thank this august board. I have never spoken before a school board before. It's a little bit intimidating, but I would like to say that I'm here as a mother of 5 children and a grandmother of 12 children, and I'm speaking on behalf of my work also as a professional counselor with children. And I would like to say that, to me, there is no greater example of the kind of character building and the kind of respect we would like to see in our children for others and themselves than the greeting we received today when we came into Gardendale Elementary. I would like to say that being greeted first at the door by children who spoke to us in both Spanish and English, which I speak both languages and appreciated, coming down the hallway greeted probably 6 times by beautiful children, helping us to find the cafeteria, wanting to make our visit here comfortable and welcoming. So I think that is a very wonderful example of the kind of children that we're attempting to raise and educate. Secondly, I would like to say that participating in the Pledge of Allegiance led by these gentlemen that assisted us in respecting our flag, so beautifully led by these children, is another example of what we hope the educational system will present to our children, which is patriotism. Thirdly, I don't think any speaker here today could follow that precious little girl in her prayer to God, that we as adults look at these children that we are attempting to educate, the littlest amongst us, she said, and that we do everything in our power under the guidance of God to give these children the best that we can give them. So that, and then of course to proceed with the performances that we were treated to tonight, which I wasn't expecting. I think was a wonderful example, too, of, as the art teacher attempted to share with us, that it is building character, building self-confidence and self-esteem, and certainly giving something to others, because I enjoyed it very much. That is also an example of what we hope to give our children in the educational system. So my comment about the experience of September 20th, when a member of a panel of diverse people presenting opinions to the diverse audience was called a Nazi, my comments are in regard to what we most hope to give to the littlest amongst us, these children. And if we can give them nothing else, we should give them good example as adults. Whether it be as parents, grandparents, professional people, teachers, we have to give these children the best we can give them. So if we are teaching them how to analyze and interpret and organize and, be able to explain to themselves and others how the political process works, we have to teach them civility and respect. Without that, we will all descend into chaos. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much for letting me speak. Just a few words. I enjoyed this, it's tremendous. I can see that you guys are doing the very best for our children. This is why I was so upset when this deal about the Nazi comment from a teacher really hurt my feelings, because this is not what we want to teach our kids. We want to let them know that you can speak your view on a subject and not be subjected to calling names and treated like dirt. For what? There's no reason for that. Our kids don't need to be seeing that kind of stuff or learning that kind of stuff. They need to be learning what you all are teaching here. Beautiful kids. I enjoyed them the minute I walked in the door. And now, I love kids. I don't have any grandkids. I wish I did. But thank you all for what you're doing for our kids. And I hope you you do something about this guy doing that to our kids. Thank you.
George Rodriguez, 8348 Highland View. Nazi comment?
I think by now you've probably heard of me. I'm George Rodriguez, president of the San Antonio Tea Party. And first of all, let me commend all the little children that were here. They are really, truly the future of America, and we need to take care of them. It was great to see them, and great to have them greet us and see their behavior is just fantastic. We are very, very proud of that, and we thank the teachers at Gardendale for giving them such a good example. Let me begin by I'm going to read very quickly a statement which I've prepared. I've given a copy to Maclovio, and he will, and I've asked him to give you all a copy of it. On the matter of Jonathan Bryant, government teacher.
Mr. Rodriguez, one thing we do ask is that no names are mentioned. I'm sorry.
Pardon?
No names are mentioned of him.
Okay, then never mind about Jonathan Bryant. On the matter of the government teacher at Kennedy High School, okay, in the San Antonio School District, I cannot disregard the obvious irony of this situation. Here is a public school teacher who is entrusted with defining, analyzing, and instilling appreciation in our system of government, in the impressionable minds of today's youth, but who then publicly advocates irony or at least selective enforcement of laws. 2, categorically and erroneously confuses the principle of the support of rule of law with the ideology of National Socialism. Number 3, misrepresents those concepts in front of the very students whom he should be teaching. And 4, demonstrates false and inappropriate name-calling to those students as an acceptable form of public discourse and an alternative to substantive debate. It is one thing for a person to voice and a personal opinion, regardless of its popularity. You've seen the Tea Party gets called everything from terrorists to racists to everything else. Y les puedo decir esto en español si quieren. I don't know. Just to demonstrate que yo no soy racista. Okay? But it's another thing to demonstrate the academic ignorance and abuse of terminology which we use to describe governments as part of a theatrical tantrum. To the school, to you folks, I'm going to ask you, is this lost on you?
Thank you.
Is this behavior lost on you?
Thank you very much.
I am requesting that you give us the opportunity to speak
Rodriguez.
before you guys.
The
Mr.
rule of
Rod-
law is to follow the 3-minute process.
3 minutes.
Thank you.